Tri-State Research has been around for almost 20 years now, and we've really done a lot of good things over that time, as you'll see. So I'm going to give you a little background about the group and what we do, some of our successes, and in the end ask you for a little money. Now we have six groups that comprise this. The MJ has some representation, as do 5 superintendent associations: Metropolitan, Long Island, Hudson Valley, Connecticut, and New Jersey. And each group has 3 board members that represent. And our mission is to identify turfgrass problems in the Met area and support research to find controls. We generally have a survey we send out to all the superintendents to get feedback to find out, get the pulse of the situation, where the problems are, try to solve those problems. And we raise funds by, getting them from a number of sources, from golf clubs, from associations, and commercial vendors. Then we disseminate the information. This is probably the most important part. After we do the research, is getting that information to the superintendent so they can use it on their courses and hopefully solve the problems. We do that with an annual newsletter that we have, comes out in the spring. Research and presentations, which go on all around the country. They are research. Word of mouth from Tri-State members, guys on the board, there's lots of them. And of course our website, so you can always get the information. It's archived on a number of websites, like the METS, TGIF, which is turfgrass information, filed at Michigan State, and certainly at the universities. And we've had quite a bit of success over the years. We've raised $800,000 so far. We spent about $500,000 of that on research, and we currently have $200,000 in invested assets. Right now we're generating about $40K per year. I think that's about a third of what the potential is. We're doing our best. If you have been contributing, thank you for that, and hopefully you'll continue. Okay, who does the research? Well, we've got a number of talented researchers at universities in the Northeast. Primarily use these schools. These are the best, some of the best turf schools in America. And if you didn't know, there's actually 110 universities where you can get a turf degree in this country. Most people don't know it. There's a lot of them out there. We use Rutgers, Cornell, URI, and UConn. And a lot of times we can't support the research alone. We don't have the dollars to do the whole thing, so we're partnering with the USGA, GCSAA, New Jersey group, and others. And our goals are, first, of course, identify the problem, figure out what's killing the grass. Sometimes we don't even know that. What's killing it. Then we search for the solutions and various controls. And of course, we always try to think about the environment when we're doing this. And try to get cultural, non-chemical controls if you can as well. Of course, the synthetic ones too. And here's some of the things that we supported in the past and some of the success we had. This one here, Summer Patch. This was in the early 90s when this group first started. And this was a real home run because this disease was killing grass on greens, tees, and fairways. And this was the type where we just didn't know what was killing it. The grass was dying and we don't know why. But we identified the organism, developed cultural, chemical control strategies, and at this point it's generally not a problem. Guys have controls for this and you know what it is, how to prevent it. So this was a home run to start off. We also supported some research on white grubs at the time, which we didn't have a lot of good products. We were losing a lot of them through the EPA. And as a result of this, molecule insecticide was invented. Also looked at anthracnose and nematodes. We thought these were teaming up together through a synergistic action and killing grass on greens. So we looked at this, but it turned out to be negative. They work alone. We also back to research on parasitic nematodes. The idea here, these will actually kill white grubs. We didn't actually stay in long enough to get a product out of that, but they're still doing this research, trying to figure out how to keep these little guys alive so they can eventually be a nice product to use. And then a root zone study. This was a great study done down in Rutgers. Looking at dozens of putting green root zone mixes to figure out what's the best mix to grow greens on. And if you're building a new green, it's a great thing to look at that research. Okay, moss. Now here's a problem. We've had this for years, and it's still going to be a problem in various courses. Unfortunately, now we know what causes it. We've got some control, so if you're struggling with it, at least you know there are some things you can do to prevent it, stop it. We also looked at a lot of really fertilizers, microbial and organic type products. This was affectionately known as the snake oil study. A lot of these products, you put them on, you really can't tell if it is this research to really look at the fact from the fiction, so we know we're buying something, what's in it, and what it does. Okay, then anthracnose. This one is ongoing. Actually, the USGA just did a research or a survey and found out that of clubs that have Pioneer Greens, 73% were struggling with anthracnose. So it's a really big problem. A lot of calls. And so we've thrown the money at this, developed some cultural and chemical control. So it's worked for some people, but not everybody. Again, as Dave said, there's different strains of the disease. And, it may not work on yours like it works for another person. And we backed research to look at the aqua irrigation regime for bent grass. With the various ET rates, it turned out 66% of ET is going to give you optimum turf. Also a control for polyannua on bent fairways using velocity herbicide. And they developed a very nice program if you wanted to use this approach to get rid of your pollen. Earthworm, this is another one. Here in this day and age, you'd think we'd solve this by now. But this is a tough problem. A lot of clubs have this on various fairways. And they looked at this for a couple of years. It turns out that lowering the pH really helps. Using sulfur seems to be the best thing. Also turns out that longer-term use of fairway top dressing seems to help. And then the hyperodes weevil is another problem, primarily on polyannua. And we've been backing this for a number of years. We had some resistance to some product used called pyrethroids that kill the hyperodes. So we're looking for new products, better controls. And we also backed research on a better way to scout for them using a vacuum. The algae on putting greens, up at Conn, they looked at this, and this is, again, a very common problem. As it turned out, phosphites can give you the best control, as well as the ammonium sulfate, also a good way to get rid of algae. And then fairway top dressing, very big, this is a big, expensive program to undertake for your course. But it seems to be catching on, so we back some research to see just, but unfortunately and surprisingly, there hadn't been a lot of research done around the country on this. But to see just what's the right sand to use, how deep you want to build it up to, what are some other ancillary effects. Okay, and this year we're spending about, I guess about $38,000 on 4 different projects. These are the ones that we're backing right now. More hyperodes control, looking at different products to see what we can find to get better control. Even get synergy by combining 2 products. Also more in the monitoring areas so we know when to treat. Again, more in anthracnose is looking at fertility studies to see if you use granular fertilizer applied at some time of the year, is that a good way to reduce anthracnose? And they're also coming out with this great best management practices to show, giving a whole program, what can you do to keep anthracnose to a minimum or avoid it altogether. Improving uniformity of fairways with ryegrass control. If you've got the little tufts of rye that's really spoiling the nice look of your fairways, using Corsair herbicide. And this is ongoing again, just one more year. Then impact of fairway top dressing on turf quality. Actually, we're going to follow this for 3 more years, so I guess about 6 years of research on fairway top dressing, so we can see the long-term effects. We're going to look at how does it affect earthworms, diseases, what kind of turf quality will you get after many years of using this. Okay, so as you can see, we've had a lot of success. After a lot of projects, we solved many good problems. And this obviously helps golfers, helps superintendents, helps the clubs out, helps you save money in many cases. You've got to remember, there'll always be these problems and challenges. As there's mutations of insects and diseases, and new products come, new cultural ideas come up. So we'll always have things to research. So please, help us to help you by contributing to this success. You get that $200 invoice in the mail. It's just a small donation for, as you can see, this tremendous information that everybody still is using today to reduce their budgets and give better golf courses to their members just by sending that to them. If you're sending it in, great. If you know some friends that aren't, ask them to do it. But, thank you for sending it in.